Well, it wasn't the start you were looking for out of Cornelius tonight, but Teating comes on in really an impossible situation and gives you 5 scores. What do you guys say about the real get out of jail card he gave you tonight?
Yeah, that's 2 in a row. We've had kind of bullpen get out of jail free cards, which has been outstanding. That's the positive, and we'll focus on that. Matty threw the ball great. Fitzy threw the ball outstanding. But those 2 guys, they saved us tonight from not only a standpoint of having to use a lot more bullpen arms tonight, but more importantly, just to give our offense a chance to get going and keep us in the game. And good things happen when you do that. So was excited for those guys to give us that opportunity, and excited for the offense to get going.
You talk about trying to get the offense to get going. Was putting Eamon Lance in the starting lineup a part of that?
I think the past couple of days, we've shuffled things up a little bit, and we've had, obviously, we've got some key injuries with guys being out, but Eamon's been probably a guy more deserving of getting in the lineup more than he has. I haven't put him in a starting lineup yet until today, and he's been a trooper as much as he can be. He's a competitive kid and wants to play, and he's expressed that to me a couple times, and I respect that. And I just figured today was kind of a good matchup to give him and get him in there. And he's passionate about playing. And I said, well, okay, big boy, here you go. Let's see what you got. And he made me look bad, which is good. Go out there and put that kind of day up. It's like, where's this kid been all year? Well, shoot, maybe I should have played him a little bit more earlier on. But he earned his stripes today, and we'll continue to find ways to get him in the lineup.
With Teating and Fitzpatrick, was the plan to kind of extend them a little bit, or was it kind of just like, screw it, they're throwing really well, they're going to stay out there as long as possible?
The latter, to be honest, we were just hoping to probably get a couple innings out of Matty and say, okay, we'll go to Matty and then try to match it up and try to get back in this thing, and then, but the ball he was just coming out good, and he wasn't losing anything from inning to inning. I could tell the last 2 hitters, it was starting to flatten out a little bit and lose a little bit of late snap, but he was able to battle and get through it. And to get 5 out of him, man, that was a blessing. So was really excited about how he threw the ball and kept the bats moving. No walks from either he or Fitzy in 8 innings. It's like, man, that's good. You keep the infield on your toes, you keep everybody rolling, and then we turned it over to Fitzy. Same plan. We were going to go kind of 1 inning matchup with him, we thought, and then we were able to put up a couple runs and extend it. It's like, well, let's try to squeeze out maybe another one on him, and kept throwing the ball great. So we were able to essentially get through that game with those 2 guys. Didn't have to use Sheaf or Ben Jacobs, who in all likelihood will start tomorrow. I'll talk to Sammy about that and make a final decision. But shoot, we were either going to close with him tonight if we had the lead, or start with him tomorrow, I think. So was the plan. But to not have to use either of those 2 guys, that was good.
So what does that mean for Thomas Burns with Ben Jacobs going tomorrow?
Tommy's going to be out this weekend. He's got some shoulder stiffness and tendonitis, and so we're going to be without him this week, which is obviously unfortunate. He's a big piece of our rotation, a big piece of our staff, but we're going to have to pick up the slack. So somebody's going to have to step up, and guys want opportunities. Here you go. So it's unfortunate not to have Tommy, but I don't know how long. We'll kind of play that by ear and see how he feels. The good news is, as of right now, it's nothing structural, major. It's just kind of irritated and a little bit pissed off. So we got to calm it down and get ahead of it. And he's a valuable commodity for the program. So we have to take care of him and make sure he's healthy and ready to come back when he is.
So different or similar to Marco's situation when he dealt with the tendonitis? I know you said there's no real timetable, but is he going to miss 1, 2 weeks? What is it kind of like? Is it worse than Marco?
We'll see how it goes. It's one of those things, we're not going to put a timetable on it. Obviously, the sooner we can get it back, the better. But we're not going to rush it to the point of putting him in jeopardy. It's just not. It's not how we do things here. So when he's ready, Tommy's probably one of the biggest competitors in that clubhouse. When he's ready to go, he'll let us know, and his body will let us know if it's still irritated, then hey, he needs a little bit longer rest and maintenance on it. So as soon as it's ready, he'll get back to it.
When did that start? Was that after the start last week?
After the last start up in Pullman. I don't know if the cold 36 degrees and rain had anything to do with that or not, but hey, it is what it is. But it started stiffening up pretty good after the next day, and so you know, it happens. You know, one of those things that happens, and we just got to take care of him and get him healthy and get him back out there.
Kind of the first crooked number we've seen out of this offense in a couple of weeks. How do you feel that your offense has kind of found its footing again?
Just starting to get back to guys not trying to do too much, just stay within themselves and put together good at-bats. And I think hitting with more of a plan, I think, instead of just going up and trying to hit a homer or whatever they were doing prior to, we weren't being ourselves. And last, not just because we put up a lot of runs and hits, but the last 5 or 6 games, we've started to kind of get back to, I think, what makes us us and better at bats and putting good contact on things. And hopefully that continues because it's a fun offense when it gets going.
Nick was telling us that he doesn't really generally pay attention to the scouting reports, and he's paid a little bit more attention now. Do you think that that's kind of a clubhouse thing? Like maybe guys are a little bit more prepared when they're going to the plate?
Well,
Is that something you knew about? Is this the first you're hearing? Oh gosh.
well, that's one of those things that I think maybe a little bit of both. They in the past week or so we as a staff have made it very clear that what we need in the scouting report. So I don't think they had much of a choice but to pay attention, if that makes sense. So yeah, I mean the fact that, you know, some of those guys, hey, look, if you're a good enough hitter and can hit, you don't need us to up here and jabber and all that type of stuff. And some guys don't need a lot of information, and it's totally fine. But when you're scuffling, you know, and you continue to scuffle at the things that we're saying to stay away from on the scouter report, then I want to pay attention a little bit. So it is what it is. You know, like I said, I've played with a lot of guys that didn't need scouter reports. They hit to their plan, and that was it, and good for them. So I'm not saying you have to, but if you continue making the same mistakes, then you might want to pay attention.
Team-wide tonight, a lot of opposite field base hits, a lot of 2-strike hits. Was that kind of a part of that plan tonight or just in general, getting the team back in rhythm of win deep in counts, finding a way to put a barrel on a baseball inside out?
The two-strike approach has been a big emphasis as of late. We've been striking out way too much as a team, and getting outside of what again makes us a good hitting team. Continuing to chase pitches we shouldn't chase, and making a conscious effort of making an adjustment with 2 strikes. And to me, those are, from a defensive standpoint, those are backbreakers. You know, when you give up 2-strike hits, it's like, gosh, dang, had that guy dead to rights, and we gave up a hit. Now he's on base, and you keep the line moving. So it's an extreme. It's been an emphasis as of late, especially. Like we got to do a better job at doing that. And to their credit, they've responded and made some physical adjustments, mental adjustments, and like I said, you keep the line moving, and even if you put the ball in play, good things happen. And you know, Ethan Mendoza, I think, had 3 or 4 hits the opposite way today, just shooting the hole that's wide open there. So yeah, you keep the line moving, and you set the table for the other guys, which is the ideal plan.
You talk about this team just needing one guy to start it off and to set the tone for the rest of the group to be able to rally behind them. With Campos having this recent stretch that he's had of success, has he been able to be that? I mean, you don't use him as the example a lot, but been able to be that pillar for this recent success offensively?
I think he's one of the guys. He's not the only guy. I think it's just been more of a team focus versus an individual guy. And I think that's where we get in trouble, is we expect every individual to do it. We can't do it that way. We're a team on and off the field. We got a team identity, a team offense, a team game plan. So when we're successful, it's when 1 through 9 are bought into that, and I think you've seen a little bit more of that lately.
And kind of buried in the offense was Kimu getting a pinch hit tonight. He's had quite a few pinch hits lately. Iman was talking about how difficult it is to kind of come in the spot cold off the bench. How difficult is that to come off the bench and provide a little spark like that?
From experience, it's difficult and it sucks, you know, because you're usually facing a closer or a back end guy that's nasty, and you're not into the rhythm of the game, and you're asked to go get something done with the game on the line. And if anyone knows how difficult it is, I do, because I wasn't very good at it. But at the end of the day, you know, you're aggressive when you come off the bench, and Lou has done better than I don't think anybody could ask for coming off the bench, and that's a guy that, again, another guy chomping at the bit that should be in the lineup, you know, more, but trying to figure out where to put him and who to take out is difficult, but they're making it tough on me, which is good. But he just continues to be ready for his role, and that's the ultimate team guy. So he's ready when his number's called upon, and he just continues to excel at it.
You moved Campbell's up to the leadoff spot today. Is that just a Williams off day, or is he injured? You said there was a couple major injuries.
Well, it's one of those things to where kind of a snowball effect, to where, you know, only 9 guys can play, and if I wanted to get Lance in the lineup today, which I was adamant about doing, somebody's got to come out, and you know, just kind of trying to look at where we have a surplus of guys. It's kind of in the outfield, and wanted to keep Compton in there. He's been as of late, you know, hitting .330 I think against lefties, so it really didn't matter lefty righty with Compton. I wanted to keep his bat in the lineup. So you know, yeah, I told Harris, hey dude, don't hate me. I gotta get Eamon in there today, and you know, be ready to go, and in case we need you. And he's like, hey man, whatever it takes to win a game. So just another team guy. So he handled it great, and he'll probably be back in there tomorrow.
In light of the resiliency your team has shown the last couple of games after a 4-game skid, what do you credit for that? What has changed? Is there an energy shift, mindset shift? You know, things, I guess, indicators that has shown you or has prompted this?
You know, I think we as a program and as a team were borderline embarrassed, I think, of how we played it up in Pullman. That's not the style of play that we want to stamp on this program. Like, we're better than that, and we know that, and we understand that that's not acceptable to go out, and if you lose a game, it's okay, as long as you go about it the right way and represent the right way. We were not representing this program the right way, and in my mind, and you know, we talked about it and said, you know, I don't care. There is a way that you have to go about your business, and a way, a tenacity that you have to play with, and that represents Arizona State in this program. So if you're not going to do that, we'll find guys that will. And so it's kind of that time, guys. We're at the crossroads. We can't keep going out and playing with no intensity the way we're playing. And to their credit, they've responded well the last couple of games. But this is, you know, in my mind, this is what we're capable of doing. So if you come with the right mentality, right attitude, and the right approach, at the end of the day, the scoreboard, yeah, it's important, but if you go out and play the way you're capable of and come up short, I can live with that. That's fine. But there's no excuse for not playing hard and playing focused and with a mentality and a mindset. So.